What do you think about those comments that Tua said about Brian Flores?
I mean, I look at every situation in the sense of every coin has two sides, right? So I when I look at it from the perspective of Tua, um, at the end of the day, where it's like anything, you feed us negativity, and inevitably, it's gonna mess with you. That being said, this is football. This is what I'm saying, hard nosed league. Sometimes you're gonna get that tough love shit, and you gotta kind of have to develop that thick skin, and versus instead of like internalizing all of that shit, I would me personally, I would have tried to use that as fuel. I would have been like, all right, I'm gonna prove you wrong. You know. That being said, when it's your head coach, it does irk you because you're the quarterback. This is supposed to be your team. You and your head coach should have a very good relationship. Um, and Brian Flores, I look at it from his perspective, and you're looking at a guy who's trying to keep his job. So he's trying to maximize. He's trying to push like his players to be the very best. That being said, when you're a coach, you have to your job is literally to get the best out of every one of your players. So we're not monoliths, so we're not all the same. You can't approach every player the same way. If that type of approach works with one player, it may not work with another. Tua seems to be one of those players that just doesn't work with. So you have to find a way to get through to him in order to get the best out of him. I feel like it was just one of those relationships that maybe at that time didn't fit. Who knows if in the future at some point they might work together again and they might have a different type of relationship, having learned from their previous one. But it was just one of those situations that just didn't fit. And it's proof because when you move one coach out and you put a different coach with a different approach, look what he's gotten out of Tua productively. You know what I'm saying? His Tua's productivity has exponentially been better since he's been working with McDaniels. So McDaniels just had a better approach to Tua. He's a little more thoughtful in the sense of he analyzes players better and he learns how to get through to them and work with them. In
Yeah,
my opinion.
definitely. No, definitely well said. What do you think, Drew?
I think like it just is, I think coaches have their own approach, whether it be the philosophy, culture, whatever it might be. They kind of do what it is that they think works. But I don't know that it always works. And I definitely think that like Frank was saying, sometimes, you tell Kobe he sucks and he's dropping 60 on you. Like that guy needs somebody to like kind of challenge him in that way. He doesn't need you to come and tell him how great he is. He wants you to tell him, hey, you can't do this so he can prove you wrong. But I think with that, especially coming from a coach, if your rival tells you you suck, it makes you want to like it motivates you and prove them wrong. And that win comes in in a form of a win. If I'm going against my rival and he's telling me I can't do something and I beat him, that is my win. Um, and how I like overcome that situation. But when it's your coach, I think you don't win the game and you say, "Oh, look at that coach! I proved you wrong." Like you still need that relationship to be like a strong relationship. And so I think he had to be, hey, oh, you can't do this. And then when he proved him wrong, kind of give him that encouragement that he needed. Like, hey, man, I knew you had it, or that's what I'm talking about. That's what we need out of you. And I think that's what he was missing, from reading like the articles and stuff, where it was just like you you try to use that negativity to pump somebody up, but if you don't replace it with the positive aspect once it's been done, then it kind of just doesn't work. And so I feel like there must have been like an issue somewhere like in that where it was just like, hey, on those good days he wasn't getting the yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I push you so hard type of thing. And so it just wasn't a good fit for them.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I feel like there's got to be a balance, right, of both of worlds of being hard on a player and telling them like, yo, you need to be better. Like you're being crappy at this particular skill set or this particular movement that you're doing, and then there's got to be the other side of it of giving them encouragement and letting them know like, yo, you're the best fit for this job. You should you're doing this great. You're doing that great. Like I feel like there's got to be a balance, and if you're head coach Brian Flores at the time just saying negative things to Tua, who's you had him since his rookie year, and then 3 years after that, it's like, and then you bring in another quarterback, or you try to bring in another quarterback in Tom Brady, because there was rumors that they were trying to bring him in, and then you bring in Ryan Fitzpatrick, and you start him, and you don't start Tua. You start Tua at the second half of the season, and it's just like I know he had injuries and all that stuff, but he was still ready to go. I think his second year while Ryan Fitzpatrick was there, and it's just like if you're just giving him negative stuff each and every day, bro, he's gonna go home, man. And especially if he's not that like tough-minded kid, and he's gonna go home and be like, "Yo, man, do I really suck? Like, fuck, man, my confidence is going down. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. College, I was great, but in the NFL, it's different. Look at Team Tebow." And it's just like a lot of things that go through your mind, bro. So I agree with Drew. Like, you gotta have that like open communication on like, yo, let me bring you into my office. Like, look, this is why I treat you like I treat you on the field, but just know that it's just to try to get you better. And then you see what your player says. If your player goes, okay, coach, I understand, I get it, I'll keep it going. Or if your player says, yeah, coach, but like I don't really like that. I need some like positive output too. Like I need you to be telling me as well. Like, yo, you're great, you're good. Let's go, keep it moving, keep it rocking. So if your player tells you that and you don't change and you stay the same kind of coach, it's kind of like living in the past, like being an old school head. Like, dude, you gotta adapt with the times. And yeah, I can say that we probably gotten a little softer throughout the years to this generation for sure. But are you trying to be a great head coach, or you're just trying to be the same person you've been since you were a child? It goes one way or the other. And I just feel like Brian Flores could have changed that a little bit and been a little more positive with him instead of being just the negative Nancy each and every day. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't make sense.